Sai Production video number 2. So took me a long time to decide to make another video. So I have some questions, and before I look at the questions, I would like to share with you something I discovered in the last months. So there are two enemies inside me, and one I would call fear, and one I would call depression. So to cover up these two issues, there are strategies. So to cover up fear, it's covered up through aggression. So I discovered inside myself lots of aggression, which I was not very good to express externally, but I took this aggression inside. And then by doing exercises now, I'm able to release these aggressions peacefully without hurting anybody. So, what about depression? So when I was working, I had this quality, or have this quality. When I'm learning something, I am very confused at the beginning because I want to learn it quickly. But when I realize step by step and see the whole picture, I have a very good memory for things. So mechanical actions like office work, I was very good to do very thoroughly and very quickly. The more experience I gain, the more quicker work is done. So I was involved with some gold coins, numismatic, was selling gold coins, and I used all my energy to learn about that numismatic. So I became a kind of expert. So I had lots of people coming to me for this kind of business. So what I want to say, I used my mind to divert my mind. So I became hyperactive to cover up my depression. So when I was out of work and when I could have been able to relax, I didn't, because this work has overtaken my mind, and I was thinking about this coin, that coin, and this customer and that customer. So I saw in this bank job lots of people getting too much involved with their work, so that they are like this stock exchange dealers or foreign exchange dealers. They are so much involved in their jobs, and they get so much emotions when they're losing money. So, it's like unbearable, I can say. So one of my colleagues is in a wheelchair now, who was this kind of dealer. So I heard in England, in London, so these dealers, they all taking this cocaine. So this is all a symptom of depression. People are depressed, they're suffering, so they're covering up by being hyperactive. So I did all of that. So now about Abby, yeah, Abby, okay. How have your intimate relationship devastated your sense of self? You're very much. I must say that I've easily fall in love. When some lady, some girl is very attractive, I just get hypnotized. I just could. Because my father was an artist, and beauty was a very big theme in his. I think he also was a womanizer, but yeah, surely he was. He had 3 sisters. I didn't have any sisters, so for me, and the woman was always something like a big mystery. So falling in love for me is very easy. But then I need to use my right mind. So what happens to me is I lose my rationality, and when I come back to reality, then everything is shattered. But I imagine this is not like that. It's just so. Yes, of course, I was very shattered in my intimate relationships. Yeah, very intense. How do you practice emotional responsibility or relationship hygiene? Relationship hygiene. So I didn't even think about that because I'm reading the questions just for the first time. Yeah, emotional hygiene. Yeah, it's about what we have been programmed into, no? Because when I was little, there was lots of this hippies and this sexual revolution, and all this pornography and this kind of things. And as a child, I got very much distracted by that. So I was very much fascinated, but also afraid, very much, because other generation, my parents, Christians, and very prude, not talking about sex, anything, because it's very private. We don't talk about this with children and something like that. So yeah. So I'm watching at these images coming to my mind, about this pornography, and I'm saying, do you really want that? Do you really want that? And then I say, no, this is not what I want. It's just a program which has nothing to do with me. It's just because the Jesuits are telling us, they discovered this many years ago, that until 6 years we are programmed. We get sucked. Our sponge, our white sheet gets sucked up. Everything what is around us, and we just can't get rid of that anymore. We used to keep it all our whole life. We couldn't, because now it's possible, because for the first time in eons, we are able to release these programs of the first 6 years of our lives. We can heal those ones. So it's happy. It's good. It's good times. So, do you feel loss in a sense of hurt, emotions, and unrest needs? I need to put my glasses because. Do you feel lost in a sea of hurt emotions and unmet needs? Yeah, yes, sure. Certainly, yeah. Needs. Yeah, and this is also one story I heard from a psychologist. He said there are only 2 problems with this humans, but psychologically, no. One problem is the people are not accepting reality. They're living in the fantasy. They're not living in reality. And the second one is that the humans are not able to express their needs. So first, when we want to express our needs, we need to first to know our needs. And yeah, an intimate relationship, of course, is one of my needs. But as we say, the more we want it, the more we push it away. So it's in the hands of the universe. So And I have always decided that at the end, male can want the female so much, but at the end is the female who decides if she wants that male or not. So male has to just relax and let the female decide. That's my idea at the moment. Do you avoid intimacy and run from relationships? No, no, no. So I was 13 years with Shoshana, 13 years. So she's watching this video. Yeah, I had very good times because we had really some common spirit of adventure. And I brought her into a big adventure, which was very painful for her. For me, it was it was painful, but I learned a lot from that experience. So I speak about the 9 years I passed in India, and 8.5 of these 9 years I was with Shoshana. So there I learned my English also. So that I'm talking to you, it's also to say thank you to Shoshana because she teach me lots of good English. So. And in India, I learned some Indian English also. So I'm not avoiding. I maybe going too much with my bonding and not let things happen. So that's one of my thing. No avoiding, no. So Sai Production, this is video number 2, and what will follow.